Hello, hello, Teaquilters. Today is Saturday, November 25th, 2023, and we're here with live sewing chat. I'm waiting for people to get into the group so we can get started. Hmm. Hmm. Trying to find an extra bag. We're just giving people a few minutes to get in, get the notifications going out, and we will start in a minute. I don't want to lose it. All right, so let's go up here and read some of the comments. First in here, it's Betsy Layton saying, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. She's saying, good evening to everyone. Got to see Betsy today. Dee Branson saying hello. Nikki B. Sheila Willis. Vivian Calvey. Kevin the Quilter. Got to see him today. Evening, Miss T and LT Quilters. Happy Thanksgiving weekend. Bonita Nance is here. Minnie Dula. Cheryl Knuckles. Jonah Crutchfield, I said Nikki B, sorry. Remo JS, saying hello to you, Quilter. Thumbs up, show your love and support. Subscribe. You won't be disappointed. Please remember to hit the thumbs up button. So thank you, ma'am. Also join our Facebook group, Teaquilts LLC. You will have to answer. It's actually 4 questions because I do have a yes and a no, a yes or no question. So it's actually 4 questions you need to answer before you can be admitted into the group. Otherwise, your request will be denied, as I'm going to assume it's somebody that's spamming accounts. Janice Miller is here. Norma Lovelace. Christine H. Also reminding people to hit the thumbs up button. Cynthia Shade is here. Becky Bramlett. Crocheting as usual. Maddie Barnum. Tom Whittick Eckery. And I think that's it, So, I'm just showing up, y'all. I'm tired. I am super, super tired. I've had some really good days. I had a great Thanksgiving. I hope that you all had a great Thanksgiving as well. Was spent with family. We was at my sister's house for Thanksgiving. I gave out what I was giving everybody for Christmas at Thanksgiving, so I can move that box out the way. And it was more people showed up than usual, so I didn't have enough for everybody, but I had enough for the majority. I think I was about 3 or 4 short. But I did what I could and explained, for people that came in late. I try to give something to everybody at Christmas. So I just decided I had already had stuff, had it here for a few months. And so I just decided I was going to get rid of it to get it out of my space. So that's what I did. Everybody seemed to enjoy the stuff that I gave them. So that was cool. C-Rex is here. She says, I thought it was strange you weren't on yesterday. Oh, that's funny. This week does feel a little weird with having Thanksgiving like that in the middle of it. Sometimes I do come on holidays, and this time I just did not because I was cooking um Thanksgiving morning, and then again I was at my sister's house. A lot was going on there, so I just didn't go live. Um Friday. These days are running into each other that I can't even tell you what I'm doing. Friday I was machine quilting, I think, and something else. I can't remember what else. Ain't that terrible? Um I did I didn't order any new stuff, but I'm still waiting on some stuff to come in. I had my AccuQuilt order came in, and another box. I got 2 boxes, I think, that came in. I think I have another 2 boxes coming in, and then I'm finished for the Black Friday stuff. I was trying to get deals on stuff that I already buy. So, that's cool. Thank you, Sharon and Diamond in the Rough saying they paid the rent. I think I said Diane McCoy, but just in case I didn't, she's here. Peggy O'Connor, got to see her today as well. She says, I'm sewing along with you tonight. Peggy also did the sew along of the 4-star general, and she showed it to us today in Scrap Quilting Club. That's what my shirt is. That's what we had today with Scrap Quilting Club. We had potluck today for the holidays. We will meet December 30th. I'll be there for part of the meeting. That's going to be the same day as Jersey's birthday party, so I'll be leaving early. But since we start at 9 o'clock, I'll stay until I need to go to the party. But we had a great day. It was we had a few people missing because, of course, it's the holiday. Let me see if I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Had to be more than 5 missing. 5 off the top of my head without having a list in front of me. I wasn't keeping track of, like, by name who was there. So we had a great, great time today. As usual, food was good. I don't have people do a list because I don't want people to be obligated into what they're going to bring. Do whatever you feel like doing, especially after Thanksgiving. I ended up making a tomato base, chicken, vegetables, soup. It had everything in there. I put in a little bit of rice, a little bit of um, noodles, a little bit of potatoes, and then all kinds of vegetables from there. So, yeah. um, it was different. It was okay. It was different. I normally put like a red meat in there, and then I use more seasonings for red meat. So I used this time seasonings for chicken, and so it tasted different, but it was still okay. It was good. It was okay. So I had a good day. I'm just tired because last night, even though I was trying to go to sleep, my body didn't want to go to sleep. I don't know why that happens. They say good stress is your body doesn't know the difference between good stress and bad stress. So I guess I was just excited about potluck today. That's the only thing I got on my agenda. So um yeah, I just couldn't get to sleep. It was just kind of weird. Zandra is here. Deborah Holloway is here. Jean is here. Hey, Tiffany of Tiffany's Quilting Life is here. Phyllis G. Bonita Nance talking about, yes, December 30th is the best day in the month other than Christmas. That's too funny. Must be her birthday. Linda Denton is here. Claudette Bettis. Oh, Sue GSD just came in saying, If anyone cares, 213 days until our fearless leader opens the door to retreat to the greatest retreat ever. Now it's the greatest. um, I did have somebody asking me in an email about retreat, so I guess I'll go over it again. I got 3 retreats on the agenda. 2 in 2024, 1 in 2025. 2024 Teaquilts retreat. I only have one spot, is a commuter spot at this time. And for retreat 2024, so busy quilt gill, not Teaquilts. It's not the same thing. I have 3 openings until tomorrow, because on Monday I'm canceling any extra spots. So we're not responsible financially for them. We have like a 6-month period before retreats that we can cancel any extras that we put into our contract. Although we still had to put down 25% of the total that we expect. So, yeah, so I'm going to be canceling any vacant spots to that. What else? And I guess I need to write down on my to-do list that I need to send that information to somebody. Okay. So I got that down. And then I have another retreat scheduled for June of 2025, last week of June. And I'm having it. I don't have the contract. I've sent the information in. I sent the information in the week of, this week, earlier. Well, it was like maybe last Thursday or something. I can't remember. Last Thursday or Friday. And so since it was Thanksgiving week, I just decided maybe people might take the whole week off. So I'll be calling at some point. I still don't have the prices. He is in contact with me, but I'm sending him information asking him for this, and he's asking me questions, and then he's not answering my questions. So I don't know what the price is. That's the issue that I'm having, is I haven't gotten the price. I think you could just tell me the price. I can wait for the contract. If you're saying you don't send out contracts for 2025 until 2024, that's fine, but I still haven't been able to get any pricing. If I don't get it soon, it's just going to have to wait until February. I do have 40 people on the list, or 40 something people on the list for the 2025 retreat. I probably have about 6 more openings, because that's what I'm getting, people asking me, what are my openings? Probably about 6 more openings, because I'll probably go up to 48 people at the retreat. I'm using 2 rooms at this other facility, and I kind of like not having the rooms be super packed. So I'm only putting 24 people in each room. And another reason for that is because instead of 6-foot tables where you get your own table, they've got 8-foot tables, which means you're going to have to share a table with a person. So that's another reason, because I'm going to try to put press stations in each room and a cut station in each room, since people won't have their own table to themselves that they can put cutting and pressing on the same table. I'm trying to make sure that I set up areas in each of the rooms to accommodate that. But it's very difficult I can't give somebody an 8-foot table to themselves, because it takes up too much floor space. So that's the only problem with that, is that all of the tables are 8 foot long. Let me go back, because my screen's been rolling. um, she says, yes, it's her birthday. That's Benita. I knew it. I didn't realize that, Benita. I have to tell my daughter that. Janet McCarroll's here. Wind Sprinter. Marlo Lightsey. Hi, Marlo. Welcome to the chat. I think this is your first time commenting. Appreciate you popping in here to chat with us. We know you already are a subscriber because you can only post if you are a subscriber for at least a day. So thank you so much for commenting and welcome to the Teaquilts chat. Anytime you have any questions, unless I'm talking topic specific, like if I'm doing a presentation, topic specific at that time, I, I ask for the questions to stay on the subject. Otherwise, you can ask any questions you like in the chat. I'm sure other people will throw in their 2 cents, and then I'll give you mine as well when I get to read it. I'm always behind in the chat. Francis Jackson is here. Mona Did What is here. Mona has a channel too, you guys. I haven't had a chance to go over and look. YouTube is one of those things with quilting that I find it's very strange. I find I cannot do other stuff and watch YouTube because you need to be watching what people are doing. So I haven't had a chance to watch Mona's channel, but she does have a channel as well. You all can check it out if you like. Jean Green's here. Thank you, saying that her rent's paid. My brother is here, saying hi to everyone. Helen Finaldi just came in. Irish L Lady. A lot of you all are coming in all together, so that's cool. And then Gorgeous Rose is here also. So welcome everybody that's coming into the chat. I am going to, I'm still working on this massive project that we're working on. So, me, Kevin, and Jason, we've been saving instructions for years and never done them. So, I will tell you all what we're sewing, but I'm not telling you how to go get information. This was a sew along. So when we got these instructions, they were in downloadable form. It's a Bonnie Hunter project. Somebody did guess that because of all the pieces. It is actually roll cotton ball. And the reason why I didn't tell you all before, because I didn't want to be answering any questions about it. So you can, I think now, I don't know if she sells her stuff as individual patterns or if it's in a book. I know it's in a book, but I don't know if you can just buy just the roll cotton ball pattern. So that's what we're making. It got a gazillion pieces. And so I am just working on particular pieces or sections as I'm cutting them. The other thing I did do since we in sewing is that I did finish that other t-shirt quilt. I did it today at Scrap Club. Took a couple of pictures. I'll try to see if I can get those uploaded onto the Facebook group so you all can see those. People have been wanting to see the finished tops. I couldn't see what I was sewing like in the camera when I was holding it up, but when I laid it out today, I do like the black background with the shirt colors. I thought I wasn't, and I thought I was just settling, but I do like it. It can go for a male or a female with the blue and peach highlights in the fabric. So I did finish those. I might be making an emergency road trip. I'm in getting that all figured out with my mom and my daughter, and I guess I might still be able to do live next Saturday, but we shall see. But I'll probably I'll know more about that as the week develops. So we're just waiting. I'm waiting for the week to turn so we can start figuring out what we're gonna do. My daughter's she of course isn't retired, so she's got to figure out with her job what she's gonna do. So my mother and I, we're ready. So as part of that, I'm also trying to get these 2 quilts done because the lady that they're for, she is in Michigan. I'm not sure what part of Michigan. I want to say Detroit. I'm not sure. And she may be able to meet up with us to pick up her quilts instead of me mailing them. So that's going to be another thing that I'm going to be looking into. Oh, and Remo's talking about she has a new one that's out. Yes, she starts. Well, she gives you like your supply list of things to get, like your fabrics, a month before or so. And Bonnie Hunter, she's talking about his starting a new one. So she has started a new one. I Every time I tend to do one of her mysteries on schedule and I don't know what it is, I'm doing it as a mystery. I tend not to like my fabrics. Um and I'm one of those people that don't want my fabrics to be exactly like everybody else's, but if you sometimes go off the fabric, sometimes it looks good, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes I like the pattern, sometimes I don't. And I just wait for them all to be posted and then I decide if I'm going to make it after that. But this was one that I was going to do, and then when she got to the third or fourth clue or something like that, she wanted 600 half square triangles, and I'm like, oh heck no. So I was kind of done with it. I was like, won't be doing that anytime soon. And then when the reveal came out, I go, I like that quilt. So yeah. So yeah, that was pretty cool. So that's what we're working on. So I'm going to be pressing half square triangles open because when we had our Zoom the second Sunday of the month, I actually sold these half square triangles. So I am just going to sew these now because my t-shirt quilts, I need to make labels, get my labels approved, and then I'm going to put those labels on the back. And I'm just using 108, and I'm going to use a regular cotton, not a batik, because I don't want to be going through all that thickness. 2 layers of batik make a weird little popping noise when I'm long arm quilting. I don't know if it's because of the tension of the frame, but 2 layers of batiks I do not like quilting through. So I am just going to be pressing. I got a lot. I don't know if how much you all can see, but I got one, two, no, one, two, three, four, five. So 5 sets of half square triangles I'm trying to press. So this is the type of stuff I'll do the sewing and won't do the pressing. So guess what? I'm using you guys again. Hey T Roberts, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat. I feel like I was so tired. I went to sleep. I don't know if I'm tired because I only got like an hour of sleep, or since I came back from scrap club, I'm talking about, not an hour sleep total, but since I came back from scrap club. So I don't know if I'm just tired or if I am developing a sinus infection because our weather in St. Louis is just changing. It's off the chain. And then I'm one of those people that I'm more hot than cold now. And so like the middle of the day, I'm happy as a lark, walking out with just my, shirt or whatever. I mean, my shirt on, no coat. And then now I'm freezing cold because the sun is gone, and I had to go outside and feed the kitty. So now it's freezing out there. So I'm never happy with the climate, the temperature. And my little body just don't like dealing with all the different temperature changes. I don't know why these are back here. Embroidery thread. I don't remember using those. So that's interesting. Nikki says, T, it sounds like you're hitching the cold. And it's just sinus issues. I don't have anything that I have right now is issues that I tend to have with my sinuses and extreme weather changes. And that's what we're having here. Um, yep, I am. I have been I developed sinus issues, I'd say late 30s, early 40s, and it's just been a mess. So let me know what projects you guys are working on tonight. I'm interested in knowing what's under your needle. Nikki asking me, is STL gonna get snow tonight? Not that I was informed. I checked the weather this morning, but that doesn't mean you stick around for 10 minutes and it'll change. That's our type of weather here. I haven't uh seen anything. Hi, Sandiago. Welcome to the chat. Mona saying she's doing nothing. I did stop by my daughter's house. She lives close enough to where we meet that whenever I'm that way, I always stop by just so I can see my Jersey girl. Remo's still working on the murder mystery quilt, Yellowstone. Benita's working on Christmas gifts for Quilting Ministry, Christmas social. So that's really cool. She does nice things for the ladies. I don't know what she gets in return, but what she makes is beautiful. She sometimes puts it on her Instagram. After the fact, of course. um, Thank you, Sandy, for hitting the thumbs up button. Monty Pep is here. Norma is squaring up her first t-shirt quilt. Tiffany is stuffing her face instead of sewing. Good for you. um, Tamara says working on quilt as you go English foundation paper piecing hexagon. So that's cool. And it's also a quilt as you go. So that's even cooler. Deborah H says, I have the same issue with my sinuses and asthma. The change of climate affects me. Yes. Yes, yes, and yes. I wish it would go away. It seems like mine is so easy to mess with too. Just 10-degree temperature change affects me. T says she's doing what Mona's doing, nothing. Betsy's working on a charm top called Windows. That's cool. Monty's packing the fall stuff away now, so that's cool. Getting ready for Christmas. I saw my neighbors out getting up their Christmas decorations. I haven't decorated for Christmas since 2015. Yeah, I did. 2015 was my last year that I put up any decorations. Now, maybe I'll go get a quilt or two and put them up, but, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to put up a tree. Just not going to do it. Okay. Cut them apart. Press them open. This is the part I really don't like pressing, but it's one of those necessary evils. So I tend to put it off to the last minute when I can. So I'm doing it with you guys. When I'm out of here in something else, then I'll sew some of these together, or I'll chain piece, like I'll use them when I'm working on other projects. But yeah. Sheila says she's doing a double wedding ring quilt, about halfway done with the top. So that's cool because they take a long time. So that's cool. You over when you reach that point, you're on the other side. Claudette's making the throw brightly pattern with Christmas batik. Oh, now that sounds pretty. Helen's just did some long warming, so I'm eating now too. uh Deborah's working on a quilt for a Christmas gift. That's kind of what I'm doing. I'm trying to get everybody that I have quilt tops for that need them by Christmas. I'm trying to make sure that they get their quilts by Christmas, and I'm even doing some that don't need them by Christmas because their stuff's been here longer. So I got a couple of customers that send me their tops as they finish, or the ones they know they want me to long arm as they finish. And then I just put them to the side, and then I just quilt other quilts around them. And then when I feel guilty about their quilts, then I go and quilt some of their quilts. So I've been quilting some of those because even though they're not Christmas gifts, you deserve a Christmas gift too for yourself, to have some of your own stuff finished, because a lot of times as quilters we make stuff, we give it away, and we don't even do anything for ourselves. So they've got the option, the choice of, completing their quilt top so that they can have something for themselves for Christmas. Uh, Deborah's working, so that was the one I read. Nikki says I made a table runner and got a pucker in it. Made me so mad I stopped working on it and cleaned the house. Girl, that's how I feel about mending. But I'll fix that quilt in a heartbeat though. But I hate mending clothes. I'll go do something else. I'll make a whole new outfit before I mend a seam on something. It's crazy. Put you down here. Thank you, T. Says her rent's paid. Cynthia says working on baby bibs. Lana Dean is here. She worked on a Christmas quilt to hang in her foyer. Now she's just relaxing. Awesome, awesome. Congrats. I love when I get something done right before Christmas and then it actually gets to be hung up showing. That is awesome. Love it, love it. My first quilt was a sew along. Started in July, ended in December. I had that quilt up hanging on the wall like a few days into the month of December. Once I got those instructions, I was ready to go. Because I said, this quilt gonna hang this year. I'm not waiting a whole year to finish this quilt. It was a 6 month sew along. Melina Montoya is here. Hey, welcome, welcome. Saying, asking me how's everything. Everything's great. I'm just tired today. Because my body wouldn't let me go to sleep. So I just stayed up quilting in the early morning hours. And what else did I do? Oh, and then I had scrap club today. So I'm doing great. I'm just tired today. Of course, every time it's time for me to come in here, like I got maybe an hour of sleep, if that, because my body wakes up when it knows I shouldn't be sleeping, like when I got things to do. So if I got an hour worth of sleep, but at least I got to rest in between scrap club and coming in here. I didn't do any work. I got lots of stuff to do, but I was like, you need to take some time. So my next job is to make some quilt labels so I can finish these t-shirt quilts. I'm going to put the labels on them before I quilt them so they'll be quilted in. So if somebody take my labels off, you're taking the quilt apart. I think I'm going to start doing that for all commissioned and gift quilts. You can't take the labels off. Mona says, I'm not decorating, girls don't help, so I quit a few years ago. Yeah, I used to do it all myself too. I remember when I first met my husband, I had to teach him how to fluff a fake tree, you know? So Helen says she's got a 4-foot tree and sometimes don't do that one right. I bought like a pencil tree because I had a big, large tree. And I ended up donating it because nobody in my family wanted it. And I went to more of a thinner tree. It's not like super thin pencil, but it's not huge and wide like the other one that I had. And so I don't even put that up either. It's like, no. It's too much work. It looks all pretty and stuff, and then when you got to take it all back down, it's like, I don't want to do that. So I'm avoiding all of that. We decorated today because daughter is going to India for 3 weeks. Wow. That's a nice long trip. Hopefully she get to do some touristy things. No tree here, our parrot and security cameras took up room. Right. And that's what kind of happened for me because once I got the long arm and start moving everything around, when you live in a smaller house, you just lose space. And it's like, do I even want to be bothered? Because it's not going to be the way I want it to be. So I've just never adapted. I can't use a whole lot of my larger quilts because I had to take up a lot of wall space with other stuff when I got the long arm. So moving everything around. Minnie says, I'm pampering a stub baby toe. It hurts so bad, mainly because I hit it twice in the 10 minutes. Then again, within 10 minutes. And then again tonight, I put my shoe back on. Right. I have to be careful with that walking around barefoot, running into stuff. I'm not paying attention to what's in my environment, thinking I know. So I have to remind myself to put my shoes on. I do have shoes on now. I'll kick one of them off when I go to sew. So we just did 40 of these half square triangles. I got 60 more to go. That might be all I do today. It's press half square triangles. Jean says, just finished making a temperature quilt for a friend for the year 1951. Of course, I had to go to the archives. Of course. Honey, you're brave, but they're doing that with my quilt guild. And it's so funny. They're doing it for 2023. And the girl says, last month, she said, I'm tired of posting the temperature every day. So every day she has to post it into the guild's Facebook group. So it's too funny. I decided not to do that. That's just too much. I've been seeing some of the ladies, they gave us like a sneak peek, like after the first month or two. So we know what they're looking like. They're going to show them all in show and tell. I think it's April or May or June. I can't remember which month. And I can't wait to see them all. It's going to be pretty interesting. Remind me, I need to re-thread this Bernina. Pulling thread all back and forth through the guide, but at least it's disengaged. And then Jean says, I'm working on new Christmas quilt, 25 days of Christmas applique designs. Girl, girl, girl. Ooh, ooh, sounds like a lot. Hopefully you've been working on it all year, and or did you just start? Hey, Shaquita Pearson, she's here. She just got back from, I think it says North Carolina 40th High School. Uh-oh, let me see if it goes down. Yep, it did. Hold on, let me go back and find it now. Because it is hard here. 40th, oh, working on 40th birthday quilt for a co-worker. So awesome, awesome. I don't like mending either. That's Mona. Yep. I hate it with a passion. Sue talking about one holiday down, another one to go. Girl, these days are just rolling by. And I have to jokingly tell myself, anytime you put a child in your life, you see how fast that year go even faster. So, hey, Carla Ford. She's saying hi to everybody. Damali saying happy Saturday. My rent's paid. I made a few graham cracker houses to donate to the dinner Thanksgiving. They went flying when the kids saw them. That's too funny. Cool, cool, cool. Yes. So thanks you all for sharing your projects with me. Is anybody making like bowl cozies or anything like that for like in mass number for people? Bonita says she is making something. She's not telling. She's making something for her group. So anybody else making anything like in bulk, like say more than 10 of something for your family and friends or charity? I decided I wasn't sewing one stitch this year. That's why I was all ready for to give my stuff up. I bought everything. Oh, Jean says she started 2 months ago. She's working on day 22 tonight. Now that's awesome. So that's cool, cool. Christmas is my favorite holiday to decorate for. I just love red's my favorite color, first of all. And then it's Christmas. It's red and green, so that helps a whole lot. Let me put this back while I sort my stack here. I don't know why I pressed this many without straightening them up. I don't know. Um, did I skip? Hold on. Okay, here we go. Just a little bit. Cheryl says she's helping a friend with her quilt who forgot to take the pins out of it. Oh my gosh. And now some of them are rusted. OMG. Ooh. Oh my. Our Rochelle lady is finishing up placemat sets with matching bread baskets for family and friends. So that's cool, cool, cool. Lana is talking to somebody else. And Helen says, I may try to do cozies, but not to give out. Girl, I was ridiculous trying to make one for everybody in my family. I got to my niece's house. I just made some for her house because she's in a second marriage, and so he's had children in a first relationship. She's had children in a second. I mean, in her first relationship. And it's like, y'all got a lot of kids. I still got some back here that I haven't even given out. I have a couple extra. I might just take them to her house. I might do that so they can use them. They probably need more than anybody else. So I am not even thinking about making a bowl cozy. Let's see. Jean says no bowl cozies. I made a ton last year. Thought I'd never finish. Join the club, girl. I was on here live every time I came on here. I'm gonna say like November through December. Most of my lives were me sewing on those crazy bowl cozies. If I wasn't doing a haul, in the stash or pass game, which do you all realize that the first is next Saturday, next Friday? And I'm supposed to be going out of town, so I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm doing that. I guess I'm gonna have to. I guess I will be doing some lives, huh? I normally do them at right after midnight, so I will be. I guess I'm gonna have to remember to take that because I haven't even opened that box. I don't even know what the inside box looks like. The outside box is cute. It's just a brown box, but I think it's green lettering on it that just got Christmas written all over it. So I haven't even opened it up to see what the inside box looks like. Lana is making pot holders and decorative towels to hang in the kitchen on your stove. That's quick and easy, but I can embroider quite a few. Okay. I wanted to do that. I've never done that. I think that's really pretty. Remo's reminding people to hit the thumbs up button. Thank you, Remo. Appreciate that. Um, Helen says she needs to do pot holders too. Jeans. I'm making machine embroidered Santa ornaments for family and coworkers, so that's cool. That's something in bulk. Sounds like she's doing some type of in the hoop project. And Deborah, once I finish the Christmas quilt, I am going to attempt to do a t-shirt quilt and an Underground Railroad. Oh, t-shirt and Underground Railroad quilts. So yes. I've done 2 Underground Railroad quilts, and then I've got the blocks from a friend that passed away. I kept her blocks so I can make another one. I've given away one to my brother, and then he passed away, and I think his girlfriend kept it. We've been trying to get it back, especially his daughter. And a girlfriend saying she doesn't have it, but it's nowhere. It was nowhere. My brother, during the end of his life, was staying with my mom, and that quilt's not in my mother's house, and everything that he's ever had or touched and where it would be is not there because he cherished that quilt. He would have not put it in the basement, so there was no need to go search in the basement. But the room he stayed in, it was when the room was cleaned out eventually, the quilt was not in there. So it's interesting that she doesn't have the quilt. Last time we heard, he was taking it to show it to her. Damali says, my choir director and I are making jar openers for the choir. 20, that's the goal. So that's cool. Damali J, girl, you singing like that? We're going to have to make you a special guest every treat. Be part of the performance crew. Made a few portable design walls by Lori Hope for a few new quilters that I have been working with. So that's cool, Lana. That's a nice gift. It's an excellent way to teach them how to keep up with their pieces. And you can lay stuff out before you sew it together to see if you like it once the fabrics are cut. There's been many a times I've cut stuff out. The fabrics look really good together, pre-cut, and then I cut them out and I'm like, nope, not going to do it. Change something out. That's why they recommend you make a test block. All right. I hate pressing. I really do. I had my hair down. When I went to sleep, I just put it in this bun thing. I just pulled it back, didn't even do anything. And I'm like, I'm done. Just left it in there. Lana's birthday is December 3rd. I'm so grateful and happy just to have what I've gone, just to be here and what I've gone through this year. I didn't think I would be here. And God has, I can't see because of this heart. I hate this thing. God has kept me here. So, yeah. Yes. Awesome, Lana, because it's a lot going on, child. So that's cool that you made it through your trials. And Damali says, making a joyful noise. Yes. I so wish I could sing. I was in the choir for a long time, not realizing that I couldn't sing. It's like you all need to kick people. That's why I don't mind mega churches where mega churches only have like 10 people tops, the whole band and the singers and all of that. Because them people can really sing, they can play. Regular churches just let anybody in, don't, because you want to serve in that way. It's like if I can't sing, tell me I can't sing. Don't have me in this choir all these years thinking I can sing. I can't sing. Not at all. Can't carry a tune in a bucket. But I sure wish I could. On the fabulous patterns, I'm gonna contact the lady and just tell her to go ahead and send me my patterns, my hard patterns, and not worry about the digital patterns, because she was trying to wait for that. I'm gonna tell her I just decided to wait until after Thanksgiving to contact her again. Tell her to go ahead and send me the patterns that I want to purchase. And I think I got 3 patterns available. I ordered, I think it was 5 extra. I got 3 left. So that's going to start March of next year. I'm trying to get, you also have enough time to select your fabrics. And I want to get those in the mail, but I'm waiting on the other ones to arrive. I may just go ahead and start sending out the invoices for the 8 that I have. Well, 7, because I got to keep one for myself. 7. Hi, June Hansen. One and 2 and 4, 5, 6. Whoa, that's hot. We got one more set over here. I'm gonna cut this thread because I won't be. I know it's all out the tension guide. All right. So I haven't sewn since I was last in here, so I guess I'm gonna have to. I'll drop a drop of oil from the top maybe, and that'll be enough for right now. I'm glad I got the t-shirt quilts done though. The tops done, not the quilting. I plan tomorrow to um get the backs. Sorry guys. I plan to get the backs picked. I'm just gonna use 108 wide back. I'm not gonna sew anything because I don't want to, and I got plenty of fabric around here. I bought wide backs. I don't know. I can't remember if it was this year in Paducah or last year in Paducah. And I haven't used any of those wide backs, so I know I should have plenty of them. I know I should most definitely have a blue for a male quilt, and then I'm going to find something girly for the daughter's quilt. So I'm making a quilt for a mother that's giving these to grown children, memory t-shirt quilts. And I'm making them the same but different with I'm putting the backs on them different. And then one particular shirt mattered for the daughter's quilt. The other ones didn't matter. I got this on the opposite side, so now I can't reach my pieces. And then I put the whole iron back instead of letting it sit here for a second. So we need some rearranging. Um, Linda Williams is here, says she's working on 4 quilts for 2 best friends and their new grandchildren to get to UPS in time for Christmas. Yes, and that's what I was trying to do with these. Just trying to get them done by not next week, but the week after that. So I wasn't like, pushing myself. Like I said, I was still quilting other people's quilts. That was one of the reasons why, I knew I had more time. But now I'm trying to get these ready so I can take them out of town with me. So we'll see how that works. um, Christine says there's 105 people watching, but only 69 thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up button and show Miss T some love. Thank you, Christine. Yes, if you haven't hit the thumbs up button already, please go and hit the thumbs up button. And Christine, thank you for going and check that for me. If you're watching and not in the chat and you're not a subscriber to the channel, please subscribe and also hit the notification bell. We're live here on Saturday nights, 8 to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Also on Wednesday, 7 to 8 Central Standard Time. Next week, I'm going to be doing probably a haul of the last 2 things get here. I just decided to save it. Wait on that. Only got one more. May as well do this last one. I was going to sort my stack, but they probably hot. So we'll go ahead and do this. And then while I cut these apart, it can cool. Right here. Woo, I'm ironing so much, I'm starting to sweat. I had cut my fan down before I started. Now I wish I hadn't. And I got on a long sleeve shirt. $20 more to go. And then a few hundred more to sew, okay? Oh my goodness. Donna says, I enjoy my time with you, Miss T. I just enjoy seeing you sew. Well, thank you. Mistakes and all when they happen. Every once in a while, I have to grab that seam ripper. See, Joy Creation finally arrives. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the chat. Nancy Jones says, do you machine or hand bind your quilts? If my quilt is going to be a quilt that's going to be used, not going into any competition or not doing any major showing, like it may or may go into a quilt lecture, it's good enough for that. If it's going into a quilt show, I will put my binding on my domestic sewing machine on the front, take it and flip it to the back, and I will hand sew the binding down. I have been doing that for many years on all of my quilts, but in the past year or so, I've decided since COVID, because I had done so many quilts, and yeah, I had a lot of quilts I probably made over 40 or completed like 40 projects, because I had some that were just quilt tops that I quilted. I know I had a lot of stuff I did in 2020 And I just decided I wasn't going to be hand doing all of that. Some of them are still sitting there needing bindings complete, okay, from 2020. That's how tired. So I started doing more of them by machine. When I put bindings on, I'm long arm quilting them. So I put my binding on the long arm machine on the front, and then I turn it to the back and put it on by my domestic machine, stitching in the ditch. I sew the binding to the back. And I've done that on here a couple of times where I've had t-shirt quilts where I've shown you all. I just did it on the Brightly quilt when I got to the binding. I did that live with you all as well. So I have shown that in some videos. Customer quilts, they don't know the difference between binding and machine sewn. And plus, it's going to last a lot longer for them having it be machine bound. Because most of the quilts that I make for customers, they're memory quilts. And they're going to use them to a certain extent or have them out. Let me put this iron back over here. So I want them to be able to wash and not have to worry about them coming apart, because if a binding thread breaks on them, they don't know what to do about it. So I do them by machine when I give quilts away and or when I do custom quilts. Damali, you're accidentally hiding messages. I don't know if you put put Lana accidentally in timeout or not. Carla says, step out and step in. Thumbs up, support, and subscribe to the educator. Thank you, Carla. Lana says, Miss T, did you say you have a t-shirt quilts video on YouTube? Yes, I have a whole series. Look under the series quilts, Harley Treads t-shirts. Put in Teaquilts and just put Harley. It's going to bring up the videos for the Harley quilt. I show you how to make a custom quilt, but you don't have to make the quilt. All you got to do is look at the first maybe 3 or 4 videos, because in the first video I tell you how I cut the quilts. I think second video I talk about the different types of interfacings. Another video on trimming those blocks now to size, because I overcut them when I'm just trimming the shirts. I just trim the front right up the sleeves. I got different steps, and I show you how I press, what I use to press, because it's a lot faster. I guess I could leave this here. So I do have a whole series on t-shirt quilts, but you sit down, get on Roku or something, and it's a great video series. Everything you need to know to make a t-shirt quilt. You do not have to hire me to make one, because I'm telling you all the stuff. In the quilting one, I think I even talk about my rationale for quilting of it, I think. So they all got tips in the videos. Bye, Tiffany. She's leaving, guys. Good night, Tiffany. Nancy says, I find hand binding relaxing. I normally do it while I'm watching television. But when you've got a whole lot of quilts to do in a short period of time, I just pick and choose which ones I'm going to do that. And mostly are quilts that I'm keeping that I do the hand binding on. I do like the effect of doing it by hand, because I'm one of those people that when I'm doing it by hand, the diagonal corners, when it turns, I also quilt those up as well. I sew that up. And so I do like the effect of the handwork, but I will do it by machine when I need to. Thank you, Tiffany. I hope she still heard us for unhiding Lana, because I think Damali is just accidentally hitting buttons. And Helen says she likes it too. Hey Kim, welcome to the chat. Leetta Bryant's coming in, saying hi to everyone. Lana, can you just type something else? You don't have to type anything readable. I just want to make sure you're able to comment. Vivian says, I think it's time for me to go to bed. Good night, everybody. Good night, Vivian. Patricia Priest saying, hello, everyone. Finally made it to watch the live, and her rent is paid. Thank you. Thank you. Good night, Carla. She's leaving too. So I'm going to hopefully sew some more of these so I can have them ready to next time I come in here to press again. Like I said, I'll be having these for a long time. I just want to get them out the way. Okay, Lana is able to type. I just want to make sure her account isn't messed up, because I would have to go to my desktop computer to change stuff. For some strange reason, it will not let me do it on my phone. Two more. See, this is the tedious stuff. Pressing seams open take time, but they so tiny. And I don't have to press these open, but they're super tiny. And I think my quilt block, I did one where I did not press them open, did a test block. And I just want my block to be a little bit flatter than that. So that's why I'm pressing them open. I'm going to do some all over quilting design anyway, so it's not going to matter. Whew. Let those cool for a minute. Ooh, I got all kind of lint down up in here. Ooh. It's a good thing we're looking. Oh, this is because I was sewing the t-shirt stuff. That's right. I forgot about that. Just cleaning this out while those blocks cool. I'm all up in here too. The Bernina places are so small that I don't even use my brush all the time to clean it, because they got tiny little spots stuff can get into. Sorry, I think I hit the mic too. Sorry about that. Trying to get all the stuff out of the little crevices. In my I'm wondering if my thread's about to run out, because it's really dirty. Trying to clean out as much of it as I can up here. And double checking now. Look like I got one little thread there. All right, it looks good now. All right. Um, put 2 in here. I was gonna only put 1 drop. Put 2 because it was so dirty. All right. Good night, Sue. Good night, Mona. Good night, Helen. And Lori Anderson is waving at everybody. Hi, Lori. Welcome to the chat. All right, so we're going to these in the bag. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I got this many more to go. A lot. Oh my goodness. Did you try new steam iron? Got this thing in the way again. To me, the Reliable is hotter than the Aliso iron, hoping that you enjoy your new one. No, it's still sitting right here in the box. I haven't even pressed the t-shirt quilts yet. I just got them all sewn. So I have to press them and get my backing. So it's coming soon. Maybe tomorrow. I get to test it for the first time. Forgot I got to rethread. I cut my thread here. All right. And Lady Crafts is here saying hi to everyone. But I hope that Reliable iron is good. I really do. I'm going to backstitch on this first one because I cut that bobbin thread low. I had nothing to hold on to. And then I gotta cut this top thread tail because it will bug me if I don't. Let me see if I can pull you guys over just a little bit. Just so I can see, I can catch it out of my peripheral vision, hopefully. I guess I can take these down. These were my layouts for my t-shirt quilts. What time is it? We still got half hour. Ooh, we're going to have a gazillion of these things sold up again. That we are not going to press. Oh my. Yeah, I just been, whatever fabric I'm touching, like I got to use some whites to make some string blocks. And so I'm like, let me cut all my pieces before I start cutting stuff into strings. So I'm trying to cut all the stuff where I need larger pieces first. And then now I got a bag of fabric I can start making my strings from. Is it snowing? We just got one half to get. I have to pick it up again to get more tomorrow. Okay. So I guess they got a ½ inch. We don't have any yet. Now, when I checked this morning, I have not checked the weather forecast since, but it didn't say we were going to get snow earlier this morning at 6 o'clock a.m. because I wasn't asleep in the first place. Okay. Just laying in bed. I'm like, I may as well be productive. Our high today was only 40 something, but for me, it felt like it could have been like 60s because I'm always hotter than everybody else now. I used to be the cold one in the room. Now I'm like, cut the heat off. Oh my goodness. I thought since I was always the cold one in the room, that when I went through menopause and hot flashing and stuff like that, that it would even itself out. No, you just go from one extreme to the next. It doesn't even itself out. There's no such thing. Doesn't quite work that way. June, are you in Detroit? Because I need to check Detroit's weather. Or Michigan, not necessarily Detroit, but are you in Michigan? I need to check that before I'm talking about I'm finna go on a road trip, right? Okay, good, Lana. She's saying she found the Harley Davidson t-shirt videos. So that's cool. T, are you using solid? A solid for the I'm assuming the back of the t-shirt quilt. I'm using a 108, but I am going to make a label that I'm going to stitch down on it as well. Detroit's 31 degrees. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's snowing in Detroit. They're always colder than we are, and they're They tend to get more snow and have snow longer than we do. So I guess I need to look for that. I'll go watch the weather forecast for Detroit when I get off of here for next week, and then watch it throughout the week. The last thing I want to do is be stuck in a snowstorm on the highway. Not yet. Michigan is supposed to get snow tomorrow. Okay. So long as I'll check it out throughout the week. I forgot all about that. When you traveling, you got to figure that stuff out. And I need to check Illinois too, because they don't clean their roads on the weekend. They just let you be out there just hanging out. Last time I was on the road in a snowstorm and we was driving in snow. We were actually coming back home. I want to say from New Orleans, or New Orleans. Hi, Katie, the Greenland quilter. June says it's 34 degrees here, but tomorrow one windy snow, and I'm staying in. Yeah, I thought she was close in that area, but I'll pay attention before I go. One thing about traveling in cold weather is everybody be hightailing it. They don't be hanging around. They get their butt back in the car when you have a stop. Nobody wants to be cold. The only problem is pumping the gas. It's always coldest when you're pumping gas. Just standing in a spot waiting. Oh. Christine says it's not snowing, but it's cold. Girl, it's cold out here now. It's like in the 30s. Let's see. See what my temperature is. At 6:06, it was 41. Waiting on it to reboot itself. It's taking its little slowpoke time. And now at 9:28, it's 36 degrees. So we dropped 5 degrees in 3.5 hours. Which means it's going to be colder than that overnight. Oh, it's right here. Okay, so they're already on the right side. That's good. On my light pieces anyway. And once the phone been touched. It's got all kind of stuff, notifications popping up. Let's see. Deborah says Chicago snow removal is great. Yeah, I think I've been in Chicago when it's snowing, and their streets are really good, especially downtown. That's where I normally stay, and then I like catch their L system everywhere else I'm going. Um, but it was the highway coming home, honey. Like the highways in Illinois, I do is like 55, 57. 64s. Those are the highways that I normally take. And I think I was on Highway 64. And it was a hot mess going through, not the big city areas, but, just the highway period. It's like, no, we can't do this. Katie says it's been raining here all day and it's been around 40 degrees for a bigger part of our day. Nancy says, come to Texas, 40s to 60s here. Yes. Yeah, if I was in Texas, I probably wouldn't even need a real coat. I tend to wear a hoodie under one of those really thin, I don't know, down jackets that you can fold up and put in a bag. I put that on top of my hoodie and I'm done. I use the hoodie to block the wind. But here, if it gets any colder, like 20s or something, then I have to go get my real coat. But I hardly ever wear my real coat because I park right at the door. And so I go where I'm going. I get in and get out. I do most of my stuff during the day when everybody else is at work. So I don't even really wear my real coat often. I just put on this long sleeve shirt today because I wanted, they're new. These are they're new with the yellow on them. So I, just showing my shirts, That's the only reason I put on a long sleeve shirt, not because it was a cold outside. But when I went to take the cat some food and I didn't put any jacket on and I have no socks on, I felt the cold in. But I was coming right on back. All I did was just stepped out the door, put the food down there for him. He was there. And I came right on back in here. My cat's getting fat. I didn't realize how big of a cat this was because it was malnourished when I first started feeding it. And now it's a beautiful cat. Got white underbelly, all of the underside, under the neck, all the way down the front is all white. And then he goes from the face white into different colors of gray, into some black, mostly speckled black when it gets to black. Not pure black, but he gets darker. He's a tabby, but he's my variegated cat. He's cute. Still not coming in my house though. I have been petting the cat though. I have done that. He does let me touch him. I bought him a house. My husband's buying this second house. I'm going to see if I can return the money and see if I can get part of the money back, because I had bought a smaller house first, and then my husband he's not going in there because it's too little, so bought a bigger house. The cat was in there for like 2 nights straight, and then last night didn't sleep in there, and he's not in there today because when I opened the door, he came from a different direction. So I don't know if something tried to get him out the house or what, if he got spooked in the house, but he didn't go back in there today at all. So I've been trying to get the cat to go to my back door, but he won't. Even when I call him and the cat sees me, he will not come to me at the back door. I've tried everything. Only one time did he come. I pet him, and then I went and got him a treat for coming to the back door. And he won't come to the back door. Every time I call him, he jumps the fence and goes to my front porch. So I can't. I'm trying to train him to the back door because it'll be a safer place for him than the front yard. Christine says she doesn't like cold either. It's 48 and it's 10 p.m. here in Georgia. It's cold here in Buffalo, New York, but not snowing yet. I'm thinking Rose is saying. Rose says snow removal here in Buffalo is good on the weekend. Yeah. See, that's when we were traveling home on Sunday and they didn't call anybody in to clean off that Highway 64, honey. Something like when I hit the Illinois line, uh from Paducah, you're on Highway 24. It should take me 3 hours to get home. I think that time we fell into snow on 64. And it could have been 24, 57, or 64 because those are the highways I take to get home from Paducah. Uh and one of the honey, once it's the snow, we ran into that snow and they did not clean up nothing on a Sunday. We let when I it's like a 12 to 13-ish hour drive from New Orleans. We leave like 4 a.m. We leave for the sun come up. We were making really good time because most people in the car are still they go back to sleep. So I start off driving. I can drive 5 hours until I need some gas, 5, 6 hours till I need some gas. And then that's our first stop. We eat. It's like 9 o'clock. We get something for breakfast. Um, and then we back on the road because we getting everything to go. And we made good time getting into the traffic because we didn't know we didn't check the weather. We didn't know it was going to be snowing on our way back home, but it did. And we were right there in it and took a long time to get home once we hit that snow in Illinois. But I have been in Illinois like on the weekends going to different events. Like my family, my mom and I and my husband, we would go to Illinois the first Friday of December. We did that for maybe 6 or 7 years straight. And we would be walking downtown. We caught a cab from the train station. We would catch the train down or train up. We would catch the train up to Chicago. And then when we got to the train station and we got out in the downtown area, we took a cab to the hotel, and then everywhere else we walked. Honey, it was cold. Chicago taught me how to wear 2 pair of long johns, how to walk on the right side of the street, because if you're freezing, like unbearably cold on one side of the street, if you cross, I found it was a little bit better because of how the wind go around their buildings. And yeah, I learned a lot about Chicago, but I also learned to put on them 2 pair of long johns, honey. And I learned in June when you go to the Cardinals game, um, you might want to bring a coat. Chicago something else. They used to have good popcorn though. I don't know if it's still good, but they used to have that good popcorn. It was worth being in line for. Garrett's popcorn was so good. Then it says it's 36 degrees in Greensboro, North Carolina. We'll go down to freezing overnight. Yep, I have a feeling we're gonna be down there too. I got up this morning and had ice on my windshield, so I had to cut my car on and let it heat up. Remo talking about shots for cat. Yep. I want to Kevin told me I need to catch him so I can take him in and get shots and get but I'm trying to make it so when I do catch him in the cage, he doesn't freak out on me. I want to do take him to the vet. Or I might just take him to the Humane Society and have them do it, because if I take him to the vet, I have to know when I'm going to bring him in. You got to have an appointment. Whereas if I do it with the Humane Society, I can just take him and then he won't be in the cage the whole time. So I'm going to actually pay the Humane Society to do it, I guess. But I'm trying to make sure that the cat is friendly, so when he goes in, there'll be no issues of them putting him down. They can fix him and everything else. Jules said she putting up a 4-foot tree. It's already got lights on it, right? And that's how I did with my little pencil tree, they called them. It's got lights on it, but she said she ain't putting anything else on it, meaning no ornaments, no garland. Judy says it's 47 here in Georgia, supposed to get down to 44 tonight. Yep. And see, that's cold for Georgia. I've been in Georgia once where they had a dusting of snow. Boy, you would have thought it was 10 feet. This was a long time ago. I'm sure they much better with it now because Georgia has been getting more snow. But that was too funny. Oh yeah, that's the Windy City. That's Deborah saying when I was talking about crossing the street. Yep, I learned that. It took me probably 2 times, and then the third time we were freezing so bad it was like we'd walk 2 or 3 stores and then we have to duck back into a store because it was so cold. And I'm like, I don't understand why it's so cold. And then I just said, come on, y'all, let's cross the street and go on the other side. Maybe go into some other stores because it was like mostly drugstores on the side that we were on. I said, we can cross the street. Like they had the Nike store on the other side of the street. I said, if nothing else, we can go in Nike and you can get lost in Nike in Chicago, Nike Town in Chicago. Yeah, you can get lost in there. You have to start paging your people. Where you at? But it worked. When we crossed the street, we were able to walk all the way from our hotel to the mall at that point. We didn't have to go in anywhere. And she says, yes, Garris is still there and they are also at the airport. Yep, that's cool. Benita says, Garrett popcorn is still good. Sampled it at a virtual retreat and I'm hooked now. Cheese and caramel. That's my favorite. I like cheese and caramel. Yep. That's my favorite. And that was I'm saying eight Chicago's specialty mix at one point. You know, I think they got credit for that mix. But I love cheese and caramel popcorn together. That's my favorite. And then I can add nuts in it too. Chicago ain't no joke when it comes to the cold. It's not called the Windy City for nothing, right? But you can figure it out, and it's amazing to me. Like even the homeless looking people have on mink coats. It's amazing how many people have fur coats, and I'm not sure if they're all real, so I don't know nothing about that. I don't have one, but they all have on big furry coats in Chicago. Okay. But she says, my husband is watching football and it is snowing in Manhattan, Kansas. Ooh, ooh wee. So that's one job I wouldn't do either. Football, they playing outside in the cold. It's like, mm-mm. When it's a snow day, it's a snow day. I don't go to work in the snow. Is Savannah, Georgia a good place to start fresh? I've never been to Savannah, Georgia. I haven't been to Savannah, Georgia. I've only stayed, now that I'm thinking about it, in Atlanta, but I've gone to, suburbs of Atlanta. And I've gone like on road trips, but just day trips out. So I've never like stayed overnight anywhere, so I'm not any good. And I know I wouldn't live anywhere near Atlanta. The traffic is too much. It is too much. In order to have some decent traffic in Atlanta, you gotta leave at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. It's ridiculous. And that's what we left like 3:30 or something. We were trying to leave at 3. We were a half hour late getting out of there. But honey, the highways were still busy. It's crazy. I would never move to Georgia, that's for sure. And I'm putting the whole state because of Atlanta. Terrible. Atlanta is kind of like where everybody was moving to LA. Atlanta is like that. Houston has a lot of people in it too. Texas, the whole state of Texas, really, but Houston has a lot of people. Becky and Judy saying, no, it not in Atlanta. Say, we still close down everything when the first flake falls. And Judy says, they still have a breakdown when it's an inch of snow. School closes, they have to get to the store, get bread and milk. Haven't ever figured out why, and I've been here for over 30 years. They do that here too when it snows. It's like everything that your basic needs, like your milk, eggs, that type of stuff, it's always gone. Me, I'm like, I don't care if I eat a peanut butter sandwich every day. I got something in here I can eat, and that's why I always I'll stock canned goods, because you can eat canned goods without any any needing any fuel. So, and then I'll look at them and see when they're expiring, and then I'll eat them and then replace them. But it's like people that you got it made and stuff like this. But I refuse to go to the store to buy things. Whatever I don't have, I won't eat. I'm not gonna do it. I always got cheese, because I'll freeze cheese. And is that the last one? Yep. Of that set. It's a long way before I get to the last one. I'm trying to. Oh, I put it back there. I was trying to figure out what I did with the other one, because I can't mix them up because they'll all get tangled up together with the different sets. So I'm just popping them into different places. Before I came live, I had to untangle all this stuff. We don't want to do that again. It's 72 in Florida. Lows tonight is 65. Go away, Gene. Garrett was one of Oprah's favorite things. There was one next to Penn Station in New York City. Wow. See, I thought that's good. I thought they were only in Chicago. That's pretty cool. I'm with you, T. No driving in the snow for me, right? Once I had worked, say, like 20 years at my job, I worked exactly 30 years and 3 months for my company in order to be eligible to retire. Once I got in about 20 years, I decided all the new people that had come in after me, it's your turn to come in here and support this place on a snow day, because I worked for the Department of Mental Health. And so we had to be open. And then if you were at work, whether you were an office staff or not, if we didn't have enough people to take care of our consumers, guess who they would pull? They pull office staff. So it didn't matter what your job title was. Everybody can go be a nurse aide. So I was like, you know what? I never got called. I got one time we couldn't leave until it was like a couple of times maybe in my whole career where we couldn't leave work because we had to make sure that the whole full shift of nursing was covered. And so we couldn't leave early, and we probably left maybe about 15-20 minutes late because they started at 2:30, and it took them to we got off at 4 or 4:30 depending on which time you got out. And so it took them like up to like 4:45 to get to work, the people that needed to be there at 2:30 before we could go home. 35-minute drive on a good day turns into like 2-hour drive on snow days. And I decided I'd done enough. So anytime they was talking about snow and I knew it was going to really happen, or if I woke up and it was snow, I called in vacation. I never called in sick. I had so much vacation time because I always went to work. So I used my vacation time to take snow days. I earned like 4.5 weeks a year. I'd done 2 weeks where I had a planned vacation, and then the other days I used them if I needed to for snow. We could transport them over year to year. You never lost them. So I never worried about them. So when I left, they had to pay me for all the vacation I had on the books. I went to work on any other days. Snow days is somebody else's turn now. I'm done. 2 hours to work, 2 hours back. Like, no, and then I'm gonna work like 9 hours because they take your lunch out. No, I'm not doing that. All you got time to do is come home, cook you something to eat, and go to sleep so you can start this process back over again the next day. No, I'm not. When I was young, I did that kind of stuff. I was like, I'm done. Bonita says Savannah, Georgia has a paper mill. If you can get used to smell. It reminded me of Charlotte in the early 2000s. Wow. Katie says, trying to find a good place for my son and grandson to start all over, and been looking into Savannah as a place to start. Is either just Georgia or South Carolina. I have a cousin that lives in Charleston, South Carolina. Deborah says, I have been to Savannah. I'm going to start skipping those. I go for the canned soup and ice cream. Judy says, yes. Thinking of ice cream. Maybe that's what I'll eat for dinner. I thought I'm hungry. I might go. It's almost time for me to go. This is pretty good. I got 6 more minutes. I bought Sam's apple pie I told you all about. I haven't even eaten it. I just took a slice from my sister's house and left the pie with her. She wanted it. Whatever was left, I'm like, girl, you can do whatever you want with that pie. All I wanted was a slice. So I got some on a plate, and I got some vanilla ice cream. But I haven't even eaten dinner. All I had was what I ate at Scrap Club today during lunch. We had two different soups, meatballs in barbecue sauce, little smokies in barbecue sauce, chicken salad, and pulled pork. And they had buns for those, so I made a chicken salad sandwich. Somebody done the healthy thing and brought some celery, carrots, broccoli, and cauliflower with dip. That was nice. I got some of that. Um, we didn't have any fruit, which was weird. Normally we have fruit. We had a few, like I said, we had a few people missing. Trying to think, what else did I eat? Sounds about it. And then we had desserts. That's what it was. I went and got different desserts so I could taste them. Just when you have that type of food, all you need is little slivers of stuff to taste it. So, 1, 2, 3. So I just did 40. I mean, not 40, 4 sets. I don't know why I said 40. 4 sets. So that's 4 sets I don't have to do later. I was born in Charleston, South Carolina, but I've never seen it. Lana saying good night. Good night, Lana. Thank you. We're going to be off of here in a little bit. Born in the Navy base hospital. And that's why my cousin moved there. Her husband was in the Navy. Becky says, I keep blankets, foods, etc. in my trunk. And I told them if the weather got bad, I'll be camped in the visitors lounge. My aunt used to keep clothes and stuff, like change of clothes in her car. Like when she got off work on Friday, she would just get in her car and just drive to Alabama to go visit my grandmother, her mother, and stay because she'll get there in the middle of the night on Friday. So she gets in, stay with her all day Saturday, and then Sunday she would get back up and come right on back home. But she was one that always kept clothes in the car. My mom used to just get us in the car, not telling us where we going, and take us down there. Be like, OMG. She even sent us, this is when riding the bus was fun. We would take Greyhound or Trailways to visit our family. My mom would just send us. It would just be me with my 4 brothers. And it was like, I can't believe how safe stuff was back then, or safer. Things happened back then, but it was safer than the world we're living in now, where you would never send 4 kids on a bus anywhere. When you put them on a plane, you making sure somebody there to receive them, and you handing them off to some flight attendant that's going to keep an eye on them the whole time. So yeah, but we were on the bus, and then we had all those stops they would do, and we'd be in there playing all kind of video games and stuff. I don't even know how we never ever missed our bus, because we were doing it. We were doing the most. We were most definitely doing the most. So I got 4 sets done for 4 more blocks, so that's good. 10, 11, I don't know. I might be a little, maybe more than halfway at this point. My bag's getting smaller. It was like stuffed. It's getting smaller. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'm at 15 or 16. I'll go ahead and do that just in case I'm miscounting. So I'm just going to put piles up here so I know I got to do something when I come back in here next time. Just keep them all in a pile like that. I don't want to lose one of the units, so that's why I only cut one apart and sat it on the mat. Let's see. Oh, and Betsy was saying, I just ate another piece of lemon olive oil cake. It was good. I had never had a cake. The olive oil does keep it moist too, but it's not like a wet moist, which is why I hate certain cakes like cheesecake, because it's like it's clampy like when you put it in your mouth. But it was really good. I actually liked that. Susan, you're out here saying good evening to you and all in the chat. Good night, June. She says, I can't stay awake. We about to leave, girl. It's 10 o'clock. I took a bus from Joplin to Kansas City. I hated it. Wait a minute. Let me see what else is saying. I hated the bus. I actually, I loved it as a kid, but like I said, I was with 4 boys. And so I was a tomboy because I was kind of doing what the boys do. So we were playing video games. We was having a great time. So it was like an excursion, you know. All the stops was a pain in the butt, but we got off. We were eating hot dogs. You have to think we're from a kid's perspective. We buying hot dogs and hamburgers, and oh, it was too funny. Good night, Zandra. So, guys, that's gonna be it for tonight. I'm gonna cut this off. Put this in here so I don't lose them. Put this on top so that doesn't move. Gotta find my shoe. Get my phone, my to-do list, my list of things I need to send. I don't need the pens. I got plenty of those. Phone, this, and I think I'm done. I'm gonna shut this one down so I don't have to stay in here shutting this down later. Close all. All right, so guys, thank you all so much for being here. You all stay safe, be blessed, quilt out, and I'll see you on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time for a haul of whatever I have. Okay, bye everybody.